Hey, welcome to The Infinity,
the podcast where we talk
and you listen.
We're your hosts, Ashley
and Victoria. Thank you for joining us for our very first episode.
And since today is Mother's Day, we're honoring mothers with very special guests. First, let's introduce our guest of honor, my mother, Lisa.
Hi.
Hi! Yay! Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And who do we have with you today, Miss Victoria?
My guest of honor, even though I'm the mother, this is my daughter, Addison.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Addison.
Hello, Addison.
So, Miss Addison, what makes your mom a very special mom?
My mom does stuff with us she might not want to do. She might not want to do and taste everything that me and my little sister make, even if it is disgusting.
How she tastes it. So are you like a little chef or cook or?
What is it that you would call yourself, baby? What do you call that? That chef nailed it, but didn't exactly nail it? No, she's asking. Go ahead.
My name is the legend, Chef Addie.
Oh, so you're Chef Addie. Mm. And so mommy tastes everything that Chef Addie makes. So
not even. I tried though.
So do you get your cooking skills from your mommy?
No, I get them from my grandma.
Oh, from your grandma. Oh, so mommy can't cook, huh?
Oh, that's not what she said.
Between me and you.
Okay. Well, thank you for your honesty. I think you get that from your mommy because I know your mommy, and your mommy has a very hard time with telling little white ones.
Maybe that's a good thing. You're not supposed to tell little ones anyway.
Wait, I have my time.
Oh, okay. Well, keep telling us about mommy.
She provides food for us, makes sure we get warm baths, and provides clothes and takes very good care of our hair. That's why my hair is down my back. And our mom is so loving. She protects us all the time, and she makes sure she gives us medicine like elderberry, silver, and thieves. My mom deserves a special day.
Whoa. Well, all right. That makes me feel special, too.
Really? That is really special. That's making me feel special, sweetie.
So that was heartfelt.
It was very heartfelt.
You can say, I love you, Mommy. That is too sweet.
Very much heartfelt. Thank you, baby.
That's a wonderful thing.
You know what what I call your mom is Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman because she's like always whipping up all these medicines for everyone. Do you know who Dr. Quinn is? Okay.
Well, thanks.
Thank you for joining us today.
And for all of your honesty.
Well, I can tell you some special things about my mom. So some of the things that I got from my mom, and I'm not sure, we have this argument all the time, but just like you're the special chef in the house, my mom likes to cook. And she likes to cook for everybody, even though I keep telling her she's like really need to stop giving out our food for free. But that's a whole nother story.
You're supposed to feed the world.
Okay, so we're going to honor some of the great mothers of today that we have with us. My mom is awesome. She's kind of been here with me. Well, of course she's been here with me my whole entire life. But I'm very thankful and very happy for her, to have her around. Some of the great values that I get from my mom is...
Your great looks, baby.
Oh, she said my
Hello.
great looks.
Yes, boo. Thank your mama for that, boo.
With that.
Booyah.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Thank your mama for that. You qualify.
Mm-hmm.
She got you in.
She got me, girl. Mm-hmm. And, I think I got my dance moves from my mom, too. You know, she know how to little shake a tail feather.
Girl, that's so old. That's so long ago.
And if you know me, I ain't got no kind of rhythm.
You got it from your dad, honey. You get it from your mom.
Just like, wait. No shade, boo. Cut it out. You got that from your daddy.
But, I got a little bit of cooking skills that she got from her mama. that I got from my mama and my grandma.
But
so,
you remind me
so
so of my mother, myself. Yes, you.
I do.
You really do.
I know I act a lot like my granny. But we have this debate about who can cook the best between us. So I can say for between us, I do a little good, a little something.
Yeah, she alright.
Eat meat?
Look, she alright.
Yeah, yes, we do eat meat. We eat we eat a meat around here. I don't eat some foods, but my mom, we both kind of pretty much eat similar things, but we love our veggies. And maybe one day you can also come back to be a guest on a cooking episode or so. Overall, she's a good woman. She sacrificed a lot throughout the years, being a single mother for quite a few years of my life, or being a single mother for a good portion of my life. I appreciate you a lot for all that you've done.
I always appreciate you, and I'm so proud of you.
And if I have to tell one great story, Miss Victoria, maybe you can relate to this. When I was younger, my mom used to clean my room all the time. And she might want to tell this story. She used to clean my room all the time. And I can admit now that I may have been just a tad bit spoiled. Just a tad bit.
Rotten.
And I had a lot of toys. I had toys for days. And my mom would clean up my toys and clean up my room for me. And one day I had my friends over and we destroyed my room. And everyone was like ready to leave. And I was like, yeah, let's leave. Let's go outside and play. And they were like, we have to clean up your room. And I was like, nah, my mommy will get it. And what happened after then?
I used to hear her say it all the time. Don't worry about it. My mama cleaned up my room. You know what I told her? After her friends left, I said, come on and clean up your room. I said, since they don't have to worry about it, come and clean up your room. I made her start cleaning up her room. I had stopped cleaning. I used to clean it up all the time. Go behind, just clean it up. No, I told her, I said, come and start cleaning up your own room. I said, I heard you tell your little friends, don't worry about it. My mama will clean it up.
And what else did you also tell me? That if you found toys on the floor, what happened to the toys?
I threw them away.
That's not loud enough. People can't hear you out there.
I threw them away. If I find anything on the floor, it gets thrown away. Because you can...
Now, this is the dilemma, Miss Lisa. I need to know a couple of things. Okay?
Yes,
because this sounds all too familiar. So, as I'm in the moment, right? Mm-hmm. And certainly I love my little children, my little girls. But you know what? I don't feel any kind of way. My mother called me a heifer as a child. I'm going to pass this down. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, in this same space, I don't know what makes these little people think that they have mates. The idea that and it was evident to Ashley that you were cleaning up behind her. Mm-hmm. Each and every time she went into her room and had an all-out ball out with all the toys that you splurged your hard-earned money on, right? And then this little chick has the nerve to say, oh, don't worry about it. The maid will get it. Okay. Mommy got it, Mm-hmm. So my question is, for one, before I have a question, I would like to say this gives me hope, okay? Because Ashley turned out wonderful. You raised a beautiful, phenomenal woman.
Oh, thank you, girl.
Okay. So that gives me encouragement because I'm thinking to myself, if I'm walking behind them all day and I'm picking up behind them all day, mm-hmm. surely they're going to think that this is supposed to happen. Like, are they going to learn to clean up behind themselves? Are they going to understand that you messed up, you clean up, This is you.
Yes.
And then the other thing, the idea, because I threaten all the time, if you don't pick your shit up, I'm going to throw it in the trash. I'm tired of telling you, stop leaving your mess everywhere. This doesn't go here. This doesn't belong there. Why is this in the kitchen? All that jazz. So what I'm saying is, since you spent your hard-earned money on them toys, mm-hmm. did you say in your head, did you think to yourself, I'm going to threaten to throw this stuff away, but what I'm going to really do is just kind of put it up somewhere because I bought that.
She threw it away.
I would do it.
She threw it away. If she didn't throw it away, she made me give it to a kid that needed it. Like, I had to give my toys away to even if it wasn't a kid that needed it. She would make me give my toys to, like, my friends or somebody else in the neighborhood if I couldn't take care of them.
I'm sick of it. I'm so
my
sick
cousins,
of it.
It was like, you're not taking care of this? I'll give it to somebody who
don't deserve it. You're not worthy of it.
More or less learning a responsibility.
And now I have OCD.
Yes, she does.
I did turn out to be a phenomenal person. Yeah.
Cleanliness is a good thing.
It triggered something in my brain now.
Okay.
I don't know. I hope so. But that certainly gives me encouragement because, like I said, this is a challenge. The youngest one, they both used to clean up behind themselves. They used to pick up behind themselves with no problem. And then all of a sudden, the oldest one, she started getting into other things, and cleaning was not important to her. And then the youngest, she followed right behind. And I'm just saying, I mean, I spend a lot of money on things that I, think they will enjoy, or things that I want them to have, or, as we sometimes do things that we wish we had as children, that I don't know how much they value it.
Right. That's why I used to threaten to throw it away, or give it away, or throw it away for real.
But Miss Lisa, I don't think my kids, I don't think it resonates with them that once it's gone, it's gone. They feel like once it's gone, I'm going to get something else. Or things come so easily and frequently. They're such children of privilege. You know what I mean? So even if it's like, I don't buy candy, even if I don't bring candy into the house for an extended period of time, the freaking holidays come by so dang fast. They got some for Valentine's. They got some from Easter. They got candy from Christmas. Like, what in the heck? Like, it's just...
It always seems Halloween, candy. Yes, you're right.
So it really isn't like, I don't know how to raise my children to value things. Because they feel like it comes so frequently. They feel like, just swipe the card. Olivia said, Mommy, just buy it from .com. Like, duh.
No.
Order it on .com.
Do they have chores? And do they get an allowance?
They do not get an allowance. They have chores when I enforce it, which is to keep their room clean, keep their bathroom clean. Addie did her chores today. And Olivia was supposed to keep underneath the cabinet organized and the utensils restocked. And that's pretty much it. Like, make up their beds, but... These little people ask me if they're going to get an allowance for simple stuff like making up their bed and brushing their teeth.
That should be the norm.
Yeah, so growing up, I didn't have an allowance. I will say that. I did not have an allowance.
I did have an allowance.
I did not. My mom told me that my allowance was the fact that I can go in the bathroom and flush a toilet.
You're allowed to do that.
I'm allowed to do that.
That's your allowance.
I'm allowed to cut on the lights in the house. And even then, if I tell you to cut them off, you need to cut them off.
Because you're allowed to do that.
I'm allowing you to do that.
Because I'm not going to allow you to leave the lights on all daggone afternoon.
Right.
Light bill.
I'm with it. I get that. Yeah. I like that.
But I will say that when I got of a certain age, because I was the same way. Like, of course, like I said, I was spoiled. There were a lot of things that I didn't understand why I couldn't have. So, like, my friends had, I had almost every kind of toy that was possible. Almost.
You did.
But I did not have video games. Like, I didn't have big gifts. Like, I had a lot of gifts, but not big gifts.
Simple.
So I didn't get the big price tag items that most of my friends did, and I threw fits a lot of times. But there was not a Christmas that went by that I may or may not have had a new bike. A new bike came every 2 years, pretty much. In between, I would have roller skates or something else big.
These little ninjas ain't loyal, man.
But when I got of a certain age, it was kind of like, hey, this is what it is, and this is why, because you understand that I get up every day and work a job in order for you to have the basics. And once the basics kind of pass by, it's just like, hey, this is what it's going to take in order for you to live this life that you really enjoy. And I had to start earning. And when I got a job, I really understood, like, hey, this is a lot. This takes a lot. This is
what was my saying? I always, welcome to the real world.
Mm-hmm. That's not just your saying, though.
I'm just saying, I used to say it all the time. Welcome to the real world. And one day you called me, you said, Mom, you said, I understand now. You always used to say, welcome to the real world. You said, now I understand what you were talking about. Welcome to the real world, Bills.
My story was just, it was drastically different. Like, while I never had a need for anything, I wanted many things. However, it wasn't in the cards. And it wasn't that we couldn't afford it. I just think that after Deron and Darius kind of got so many things that, were just kind of like material things. Like, by the time they got to me, it wasn't like, oh my God, let's go all out and get her, this that she's always wanted. So I totally wanted a pony. And,
oh, wow.
But don't get me wrong, though. It wasn't like, it wasn't like I had much, and my brothers and I were 4 years apart. It's not like I didn't have anything. I got toys and stuff, but it wasn't a whole lot of what I desired to have. But I was, I took what they gave me and I enjoyed it. It wasn't that I didn't have anything. It was just that, it just kind of, abruptly like came to a halt. And at some point, it even came down to like, I feel like I remember like by the time I was in like 5th or 6th grade, like I was getting cash for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I was getting like a couple of $100, go buy you something. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't even like, we didn't have a mall where we were. I lived in the country. So what are you expecting me to go spend my money on? And so I would do stupid stuff, like spend, like $100 on a name brand outfit and $100 on a pair of shoes. And then that was my Christmas. And then I looked, real crazy because this is what I spent my Christmas money on. But I didn't know any better. I thought the thing to do was to like reflect what I saw. And so, there wasn't like an option to have a go-kart and a swimming pool and all these other things. And to be honest with you, I'm not buying this stuff for my kids because I think a go-kart is dangerous. Although I did buy Olivia a little car. And I think it goes fast enough for both her and Addison to enjoy it. Addison does have a hoverboard and they have new bikes. We paid $150 for the hoverboard for Christmas. Jesus. And the hoverboard is now broken. And I'm pretty sure it's more than 150 if you account for the taxes, the storage, or what the bag that came with it. So that's my very point. If they're not valuing it, then I don't feel the need to go out of my way. And the other thing that I think I may have always wanted that I didn't get was a playhouse.
Girl, I wanted a playhouse so bad. I wanted a playhouse and I wanted a Barbie house. And
that's the other thing. I got Addison the whole Barbie dream house situation. It's at grandma's house. She doesn't think about it. They have this whole kitchen in their playroom. They play with it from time to time. But that's what I mean. Like, it's not necessarily things that, both of them have devices. And these devices have like Olivia has the iPad, Addison has the iPhone. What do you do? Because we have other phones around, they will play with their devices until they go dead. Don't bother to charge up their device. They'll go grab something else. And then they'll just play everything dead in the house.
And it seems like the more expensive stuff gets, the worse the more the don't care thing comes in. To me,
they don't care because you can just order it from .com and you can swipe your card.
With me, I told my mom. The biggest gifts that I asked for were.
Go back to
was my sister. I asked for it. Like when I say I asked for it,
she really truly did.
That's huge.
She really did, Victoria. She did.
Actually, how many years are you and your sister apart?
Me and my sister are 10 and a half years apart.
Yes.
Oh my God! Yes. Oh wow.
Ashley thought she had a real baby doll, girl, when I had my baby.
I really did. But she's like, so when I was younger, before I knew better, I probably was like Liv's age. Because by the time Addison was by the time I was Addison's age, I was around the time that my sister was actually on her way.
Yeah, because Addison is 9.
By the time I was, like, when I was Liv age, I would ask my mom constantly if she could get me a sibling. And my mom would tell me that it was too expensive. So,
girl, oh my God.
I thought that she got them from stores. So I told her, like, she would get paid, and I would tell her on payday that she got enough money that she can go buy me a sister.
She really, truly did.
And for Christmas, I would ask for a sister because I didn't understand where babies came from.
That's so cute.
I know. I was such a sweet child.
Could you buy me a baby? She wanted that baby, so I mean.
And then I didn't know any better. But maybe God had placed it in my heart early on.
Saved up enough money to buy me a little sister.
Oh my God, that's a lot of hard work.
It is. You know, I should tell her that we got her from the store. I think I used to tell her that, but
that's a huge commitment.
Yeah, I should tell her we got her from the store.
It's nothing that my children can say at this point right now that would persuade me to give them a sibling. Absolutely nothing.
Well, she really truly told me, you tell me, you're not going to go to the store, Victoria?
And buy
and purchase?
Well, seeing as though they have each other at this point.
I mean, and they want a brother.
They do.
Well,
Are you going to purchase?
You can go.
No, ma'am.
You can swipe your card on .com and get them a brother.
I can't, and my credit is not in the best right now, so I can't finance one either. So it's just, it is what it is.
Hey, you can go thieving.
No, I'm not interested.
Hey, where did she come from?
This is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. I gotta go. And I just need people
she
to
has
understand.
to go before, she has to use some of the pens over here.
I cannot with her. You talk about, okay, this is what I am saying. You started it though.
Okay, before you leave.
You talk about, okay, now where did she come from?
Before you leave, I want you to ask me 3 of these questions.
Yes,
what does mommy do that makes you feel special, sweetie poo?
What does mommy do? When I was little, I can tell you what you used to do when I was little. So when I was little, what you did that made me feel special is when I was cold, my mom would iron the sheets in the bed before she tucked me in and iron my socks. It would make me feel all warm and fuzzy. Now, I told you I was a little bit spoiled.
I think she must have had time to do this because it was just y'all 3.
I worked a job.
It was just me and my mom at the time.
Yeah, but I worked.
I mean, because you was a superwoman. I mean, those details they don't occur to me. Now I'm always, I rush to take the sheets upstairs at night when they're warm. Like I just took the bedding upstairs, but to like pull out my iron, plug it in, and iron the sheets, that's special.
I really truly did.
She did, and she used to iron my socks too.
Knowing that there was enough ventilation in those socks that they would be cool in about 60 seconds.
She would also do it like on school mornings when I have to walk to school.
That was special.
When I walked to school so that my feet wouldn't be cold.
That was special.
Yes.
That was absolutely special.
So what does she do now that makes me feel special? I think the biggest thing that you do that makes me feel special now is you cook. You cook great meals. And you try to cook meals specifically that are things that I like or that I will eat. I've made some diet changes over the years here and there, and you've kind of been very
She's made some adjustments. She's been supportive.
She's been supportive. Keep me on track in some ways. Now, at the same time, she will bake a mean cake and leave it somewhere and ask me 1,000,000 times if I want some. But that's another story.
But you know something? That's a good thing. That means she has that ability to say no.
It does. You have willpower. It does. She's tempting you at home first.
Yes.
No, she
And it's
tempts me.
a type of temptation at home
She tempts
before
me
you have to face it in the streets.
all the time. Like,
Yes,
it ain't even old. It ain't. It's like.
Yes, because I'm gonna do a walnut cake. I want to do a German
Ain't nobody
chocolate.
asked you all that.
Well, I don't know, but if
about?
you decide that you want to do a strawberry cake, a red velvet cake, I'm open to all that. A Cinnabon cake.
Look. Red velvet cheesecake.
Red velvet cheesecake.
Yeah.
I'm about that life.
She did that to me one day. She combined cheesecake and the taste of cocoa and red velvet wrapped up in one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's a mother's love right there.
Girl, that's a mother trying to get you wide as this dough in here. But
Girl, she just want to get you seen, girl.
Yes, seen from far, far away.
If I didn't have ears right here, I'd tell you how. She just want to get you seen.
Seen from far, far away. Mm-hmm. And about blind you up close.
See, that's real wrong. That's very, very not nice.
That's not how I saw it. You know, this is something that I learned just recently, right? That, and I struggle with it. I don't know where I need to be. That we are all autonomous beings, meaning that God put us here, right? And he has a purpose for us all. Now, my job, as I perceive it to be, is to provide protection, guidance, security, love, comfort, all those things to provide a safe haven for one to grow, thrive, prosper, become an independent, productive citizen, right? Person, whatever. Worldly, right? But my other job, here again, I question because a worldly mom, my children belong to me. I'm responsible for them. What happens to them, reflects who they become, reflects who I am. All those things. I wouldn't fall too far from the tree. Blah, blah. However, in the spiritual realm of things, you don't technically have control over who your children become because their purpose was designed before you were even existed, before I even existed. There was a purpose for my child.
He
my children.
knew me.
He knew me. He knew my name. He named me before I even existed, before Addison even existed. He knew her name. He named her. He named Olivia, so forth and so on. So when you think that, when you consider the fact that they are autonomous beings, and you consider the fact that he has a purpose for them before any whatever it is that I would like to project on my children, and here again, I still struggle with it because I'm human. I struggle with it because I am a human, and I have these desires and, these standards and of things that I want for my children. And I want them to be, well-mothered children in sorts. But here again, like I said, who they become in this world needs to be who he has designed them to be. Now, what role do I play in that?
Your role predestined is an intricate part of who they are. Even down to your grandchildren. As women, once we're formed in our mother's wombs, we're carrying our children. So
all of it. All of it.
Our
generations upon generations.
Yes, they're always carried within the womb. It's always, women are honors. The honor that we have in order to be us and to be a part of birthing, bringing life into this world is almost, I don't like to compare it to God, but it's almost godlike because we have this great ability. So,
well, it's certainly God-like because he gave it to us and he is within us as
he
we
is within.
Right.
reproduce.
So when it comes to, the honor of being a mother and of wanting your kids to be mothered, just like your kids were foresaw before you got here, you being their mother was as well. So who you have as children, you didn't choose them to be your children. Like, you chose to have children, but you didn't choose who they are and who they were as children. Just like I didn't choose my mother. So,
right, but what I'm also saying, okay, so, but do I manipulate who they are to become in this world? Because, so yes, you didn't choose your mom, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, your mother birthed you. You know, it's very important to me, being adopted, that I wanted to birth children, and I wanted them to be raised by their birth mom. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I don't know why I had that desire. Okay. But let's just assume that because I was, birthed by a mom and raised by another mom, my mother was a superior mom. There's none that I would put above her. She, made sacrifice after sacrifice after sacrifice, mm-hmm. to give to me, to provide to me, to instill in me, to all those things, right? And still does, because I know that my mother prays for me. She has made it clear to me that when her children are not at home, that she worries about them nonstop. She mm-hmm. wanted to make that clear to me so that I, in turn, might slow down, me and Darius. Mm-hmm. So if you would slow down, please, because when my children are not in one place, I don't sleep at night. Yeah, I worry about where uh-huh. you are when you
of are. Of course. And my mom, yes. she prays for me just walking around.
Nonstop. Yeah. It's a
so even when I am around, even when I'm around, I know, like, she's saying something.
I know you've always heard a mother's prayer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mothers breathe. We pray when we breathe prayers, mm-hmm. literally. Okay,
we really do.
But I say that to say my mother took me in, right? And I was birthed by someone else, 2 other people, okay? 2 of which she barely knew, right? One of relation, but she still didn't know her. The woman who birthed me was a child at the time. And then the father, she didn't know it all. But this woman went out on a limb and took me into her home and made a home for me. Like I said, but with all of that in mind, she gave me, she poured into me, right? All that she had, in hopes that she would give me the building blocks that I needed, mm-hmm. the foundation that I needed to excel as an individual, despite my genetics, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know what your genetics are, but your nature versus nurture.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what your nature is, but I'm going to nurture you in this way. Right. And so this is what I'm saying. So I've heard a couple of different perspectives on it in terms of like nature versus nurture, as well as just kind of like, I am the natural part of, producing my child. And then I'm just going to like let the rest take its course. Yeah. I don't really know.
You have to also think about the fact that God, being the supreme being that He is, He provided you with the nurture and the nature. I meant the nurture and the nature. So He predestined who were going to be your parents from the genetic side in your mother's womb. But He also knew that you needed the nurture. So He put the person that you needed to nurture you in the path in order for you, since He knew who you were, to be here today, to be the person that you are. And mm-hmm. therefore, when it came to your children, you're able to do the same things from a nurture standpoint, but you're also able to bring all of the nature or the genetic parts and forms of it as well. So I do think that all of that is pulled together in order for mm-hmm. you to become or to be the biggest supreme being that you are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can see it. I can see the perspective. I think where I struggle is that, okay, so I think where I struggle is that when we are raising children that, and regardless of who it is, I'm just saying, he put us in charge of beings, yet he put us here to have control over ourselves. And at what age does that start? At what point does that start? At what point do we become autonomous beings? I just feel like it's a struggle, and something that I certainly know that I carry with me is all of those lessons and lack thereof in terms of lessons from my childhood. And at some point it comes to roost, and you're looking at all these things and you're trying to figure out what relevance do they have? How much weight is this hold? Is this really necessary? Do I need this? Like, some of these values and beliefs, I don't know. They don't need to carry on to the next generation. They don't even need to stick around. And I think that's where I struggle.
And I think you're about to open up a whole nother can of worms that we probably should visit in a future episode. So
yeah,
and I think that's awesome, and I hope our listeners will stick around so that we can explore the concepts of breaking chains and generational curses and all of the other good stuff that comes with knowing who we are and where we come from and how we can proceed in the future. I would like to thank both of our guests for being here. Thank you, Mom, for coming on today. And thank you, Miss Addison, for coming on today.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Miss Lisa.
And thank you, ladies, for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on today's show. We hope that you join us in the future where we talk and you listen.
Here on The Infinity.